Hey y'all, my name is Tristan Brandt. This is my Biblical Foundations of Worship final project for Bethel Music College. I just want to take a few minutes and kind of just dive into worship, what it means, what it is, and even talk a little bit about the sound of worship and our sound. First of all, I just want to say Ray Hughes is amazing. Every lesson that you watch of his is just a depth of knowledge. If you're not writing everything he's saying, you're missing out. Um, Speaking of things that he says, he kind of talks about a multifaceted God, and it's beautiful, and I love it. And he even talks about just kind of what takes place in worship when we're worshiping. What is the interaction that should be taking place? And I kind of want to break all that down, bring all of that into one phrase, right here. Awareness becomes interaction, which triggers a response to sacrifice and adore God, leading to a transformation into spirit and truth worship. See, awareness, being aware of the presence of God, becomes an interaction between me and Him, which triggers a response of my heart to sacrifice something that has to die, whether it's a sin or a feeling or something that's going on in my life, to sacrifice and then adore, be in awe of God, leading into a transformation of my heart, my spirit, my body, into spirit and truth worship. So what is worship? What is worship? See, worship means to bow and put your face to the ground, just like Abraham worshiped at the top of the mountain. When you do this, you're putting your head below your heart. Putting your head below your heart. You're returning to the place from which you were created for the purpose in which you were created. See, when you're worshiping, your mindset and your what you should be thinking through is, I'm yielding myself back into my original purpose. See, and what is that original purpose? See, it's to worship God. I grew up in church. I've heard that my entire life. But worship in the truest sense is not about meeting the needs of an egotistical God. See, no, God is a father. He's a father. He seeks us to worship him, because in moments of spirit and truth worship, where we're giving it our absolute all, we're sitting and adoring God, our hearts are being transformed, and we're responding and interacting with him and being aware of his presence. See, God in those moments receives our undivided attention, and our purest expressions of love are found in those moments. See, but at the same time, God has given us his full undivided attention, and his purest love is expressed there, and the expressions of his love are found there. See, those are the moments when us and God experience love as a gift rather than a reward for a ritual. Worship is truly when love finds love. I love this. This really set a tone for the entire course this semester, for the entire Biblical Foundations of Worship class. Because I love worship. I always have. I play drums. I'm a musician. It's just my favorite thing. It truly is. Worship is my favorite thing. But hearing this and really for the past few years, even like kind of feeling this, but not having like pen to paper, not putting it as nicely as Ray Hughes did, but reading this and hearing this stroke a chord in me and just really set a tone for this class. And now, and not even just for the class, but for myself, like when I'm worshiping, I want it to be spirit and truth worship where my love finds the love of the Father, and it's a gift rather than a reward. God didn't want us to work for it. I mean, we have to do our part, but it's a gift. His love is a gift. It's not a reward. It's not a reward. See, to take it a little bit further, worship in my life has been very, very important. Like I said, I love worship. But Ray Hughes said this, and this is one of the most impactful things I think I could have ever heard or gotten from this class. Ray Hughes said, if all the music you're listening to is recorded, something is missing in your life. Your song is missing. Your sound is missing. Find that expression of of you that no one else can give. Quick testimony. Writing is not one of my favorite one of my favorite things. I don't like to write. I'm just not a writer. However, with that being said, I have been in seasons where God has had me write out what I'm feeling, what I'm going through, just kind of the things that is going on, and writing them out and processing them with Him by writing it. Then hearing this, and I didn't know why, but this really just captivated me. I was just pressed in on this right here. And God reminded me of that season where I had to write and just had to process with the Lord on paper, and just kind of took me through this journey. And I feel like God was calling me and pushing me in a direction to start songwriting. I don't consider myself a songwriter. I've only written one song. It's been a crazy journey even just doing that. But songwriting, my sound, not imitating somebody else's, but recording and writing the song that's within me. Now skip forward ahead to about week 6 in this class, in this course, and we get to Dan McCollum and the physics of supernatural sound. First of all, this lesson was incredible. Great. There's so much incredible knowledge in this. But I want to take a specific look at data sonification. Dan McCollum begins talking about data sonification, which the term means turning non-musical sounds into music. So what he was talking about was these scientists began to listen to volcanoes and taking the sounds and the things that they were getting and the data they were receiving from these active volcanoes and turning them into music so that they could better predict when a volcano was going to erupt. And this worked with great success. It was incredible. So they started doing it with DNA. They were taking DNAs of swans and of dolphins and assigning the structure of the DNA to musical notes. Then taking that data, sending it to a composer, and the composer was writing music based off the DNA structure. Now, this lesson was incredible. There's a lot of incredible things in here. And he starts playing the music that was created for the swan. And you can, if you close your eyes and just listen to the music, you can literally picture a swan gracefully going across the surface of the water. It was a crazy thing to even think of that. Wow, I'm listening to the song and all of a sudden I picture a swan. Same thing with the dolphin. They took the dolphin DNA, sent it off to the composer, and the composer started writing music. And we're listening to this music, and all of a sudden there's this great crescendo, and everybody in the room, everybody who watched the video, you could literally picture the dolphin jumping out of the water and going back in. It was incredible. But then they did it with human DNA. As you know, every human is uniquely made and created. And so when they took this DNA, Dan McCollum tells of a story of they took the DNA of a friend of his. They took the DNA of their son-in-law, and they sent it off to the composer. And the son-in-law always played this little motif on the piano. He's not a musician. He doesn't play piano. He just, anytime he walked by a piano, he just played dun 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 dun, just whatever little motif that he always played since he was a kid. Well, they got the music back, and the music had the exact same motif that he played. I have goosebumps right now. It's insane to think that the DNA structure is a song, but better yet, it is a unique song just for you. That God created us so uniquely. And Dan McCollum even goes into this. He says, first off, he goes, the universe is a symphony of music. But you do not just have a song, you are a song. And he references Genesis 4, 8 through 12. I'm just going to start at verse 9. It says, afterward, the Lord asked Cain, where is your brother? Where is Abel? I don't know, Cain responded. Am I my brother's guardian? Verse 10, but the Lord said, what have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Going back to what Ray Hughes said, we all have a song. We all have a sound, a unique sound created by God for us individually. This class has been life-changing for me. This class has just really changed the way I think about music, about worship, about leading worship, just everything, because it's so incredible, everything that's said. And I want to leave you off with this. Next time you worship with this in mind. Being aware of the presence of God, which leading into an interaction between you and Him that causes you to respond to sacrifice and adore God, leading to a transformation of your heart and to spirit and truth worship. Guys, thank you for watching my video and my final project. Hope you all have a great day.